Hello YouTube. Welcome to the RoboPlastics laboratory. This is my 3D printer. It is a BLUErBOT. In all actuality, it's a BLUErBOT Plus, which has an 8-inch by 8-inch by 8-inch build volume. Although I'd never print something that large, it still has the capability of printing within that envelope. This BLUErBOT uses different kinds of plastic. I can use nylon, ABS plastic, which is like Lego. I can use PLA, which is corn plastic, and now I believe there's a new PLA that's rubberized that I'm going to go ahead and try to order some of that and see if I can make some tires for some robots. As you can see down here, I have a bunch of different kinds of plastic for the robot, different colors. Some over there too. It feeds into the bot up here. The wheel turns. The hot end allows a small amount of plastic to come out. It's printed in a pattern. The printer steps up and prints on top what it printed before, and steps up and prints on that. And that's how you get a 3D printed object. So we'll go over here to my workbench, and we'll see some of the stuff that you can print. For example, this is a raw stock 3D printer print head. See how shiny that is? That's after an acetone vapor bath in my acetone vapor vortex machine. Makes a really nice solid surface once it dries. Very durable. The part is much stronger now after having done that to it. Here's another one of these. This one is printed in glow-in-the-dark blue. This one was actually printed before the dark blue one. In the middle of this print, there was an electrical failure, power flicker, and it stopped printing. Now, I could have started everything back up, but this has happened when I first got into printing and didn't understand that I could have edited the G code on the appropriate line where it ended and allow it to finish. Here's another part for a 3D printer. I can therefore, with my 3D printer, print other printers. Not every part, of course, but a significant amount. This is the gear, premier gear, and the spur gear for an extruder. That is what squeezes out the hot molten plastic. A model to show off what the 3D printer can do. Here's another example of that same model that was printed larger, and there you can see a contour fill. Here's a useful object. This is a canister. It's made of black. It's very tight tolerances. It has a lid. Here's a part for a 6-legged robot. Here's an actuator valve. Here's a part to a machine that I'm building. Here's an example of how you can take and create a 3D printer and create devices. This is 3 different parts. They all snap together and they fit into this 3D printed cap. This is a bracket that a coworker asked me to rebuild, and then I 3D printed it, finished it, and came out with this. Here's a big object. It's a stand, but what it really was a large version of this cup being printed, and there was a failure, power flicker, and that's what I got. So now I use it as like a little workbench kind of stand. It looks pretty cool. Here's an example of a part that in the middle of the part there was a hiccup and the and the printer misprinted. As you can see, it's a staggered gear. That's how not to print a part right there. And this part. This was the first part I ever printed. It's supposed to be a square with a hole. And it came out like this. Today's project is to take this webcam, which broke. The camera works, but the housing broke. Alright, so to take this camera and this camera stand, which is all broken, the top of this broke off, the clamp. So I'm going to take and create legs that attach to this, and a cap that snaps onto here, an armature with a posable little box that this camera piece is mounted in. And that is the project for today. What we have here is a SketchUp. It's Trimble SketchUp. I took the circuit board, I sketched it up, I did a mock-up of the circuit board. From there I built a box around that, which I've set up over here. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'm going to print this part. Wish me luck. Have a good one.